Okay, we're zeroing in here in the last category, which are the ferns, last but not least. Um, Ferns just bring so much coolness, texture, soothing, background. There's just something about ferns that's so captivating. It's hard not to love a fern, even without flowers, and there are no flowers. One of the great things about ferns too, because some of you all have asked about critters, is they're almost all not attractive to the herbivores, the mammal herbivores. There is an exception, and that's maidenhair. So Larry's going to talk about maidenhair, but the maidenhairs do get nibbled on a bit. So
yeah, of all plants, ferns are the least eaten by deer because they don't have any nutritional value. Uh, if you're lost in the woods, don't eat ferns.
yeah, and a lot of, and we believe too that, and there's some evidence, there's some toxic, not like deadly toxic,
Yeah.
but they've got a lot of compounds in them. They've been around a long time to
I talk about
develop
ferns
that.
as companion plants, and you could start a fernery, which is a fern collection. The ferns are going to last beyond your wildflowers in the spring after they finish blooming. Many of them fade away. That's when the ferns should come in. So you should plant ferns where you have wildflowers that disappear. And maidenhair fern is one of the great southern ferns. It's heat tolerant, it's delicate, it creeps around the garden, it fits in with other plants without being obtrusive. It has those little finger-like or hand-like
So maybe switch
fronds.
to the next slide. I think it's on the next slide.
Oh,
There we
yeah,
go.
yeah. There you
Yeah.
go. The southern maidenhair to the left is more of a spreading fern. The northern maidenhair to the right is a little more formal. The both are quite hardy here. Uh, Southern maidenhair does not grow well up in the mountains, colder than zone 7, so about 10 to 15 degrees in the winter. Northern maidenhair is quite hardy, and so I wouldn't be without either one of them. Of course, it's hard to pick a favorite fern, but I chose to talk about maidenhair because it's a good one that creeps around with, among, between other wildflowers and gives you an interesting little three-dimensional carpet, if you will. It's sort of like a little, what's one of these little fog machines, that creates a little fog around your pond. The southern maidenhair creates a little fog around your wildflowers.
Yeah, southern maidenhair has a texture unlike other ferns in our flora. And I have only recently started growing it, and it has just done great. I'm in love with it. And some of you all may be looking at it saying, that looks like tropical maidenhair, like the houseplant. And yeah, it does.
I can tell you one story. A southern maidenhair is not common. As far as I know, it's known from one location in North Carolina, and that is out at Lake Waccamaw on a stone wall. But it grows well here in cultivation. It becomes more common as you go further south. So keep that in mind as you go south. You can begin to look more for maidenhair fern in limestone woods. Ooh. This is one of our more robust southern ferns, the Dixie wood fern. Gets up to 5 feet tall.
I believe that picture's from the Glen.
I think so.
Yep.
This plant I first brought into cultivation about 1984. It came from the Darlington Motor Speedway, South Carolina, in a swamp near there. So think of speed when you think of the Dixie wood fern.
It's a champion.